Welcome back to our. In this episode, we are continuing our Rust CLI project, a powerful part directory tree viewer built from scratch. If you are new here, this is a part of a full series where we break down the development step by step, everything from command line passing to kit initializing, custom output format, and more. Inspired and enhanced by Mekong. This series is all about writing real-world Rust tools for developers who love working in terminal. If you are already, if have not already, be sure to check out earlier episodes or join our Discord server in the description. Now let's dive into today's build. At test.rs. It will show you every test of a file. Okay, let's put in list like this mode text, and here you need to pop use display their function with the file info and tree display to whatever globally in our file we want to use and by data. Okay, about this error is giving, just ignore it for now. If you don't get error, just ignore it. It's actually not error when you just replace your directory and everything. It not give any error because of that catch error. Now let's come instead. Let's repeat it first of all. And here you can use anything like use create file info. We want here file info. Use main size. Here will be a decimal, and for message size and use STT collection, not the collection of hash map. Abstract three data of total files will be a usage and per total directories will be a usage size per total size. It will the count of the everything and show you how much total size of the file, the folder and everything. Okay, per file type will be hash map. If it's string and size, it will be a file type for largest file. How much there is a largest file, large file, it will be a string, and U64 which is size also. Pub smallest file, there is a smallest file or not, it will be a string and U64. Pub average file size is U64, not optional, right? Yeah, no, it's not optional, it will be U64. Average of file size and pub time links. There is any time link file, it will be inside. And let's implement what is uh, okay. Here is the curve bracket come. Let's implement it for three status and pub new fn new fn new, and it will return a self per default. There is a not default, we will create it later, don't worry. Okay, let pub fn add file and mute self with info and file info. If info is directory self.total directory will be a plus equal or a plus equal to 1. Sorry, else self.total file, it will be a plus equal to 1 total size. Let me check everything. Just remove this total size, just remove it also. Here will be a track file type. Okay, we'll let extensions equal to info dot path dot extension return extension, and then exit will be exit dot to string, and then unwrap or no extension dot it will be a lowercase. Here will be star cell file type dot entry extension dot or insert 0 plus equal to 1 always. Okay, now here take last file sum the large chase size largest, oh sorry, this is small. Let me check everything. Here is a largest file, here will be the like largest. It will help you to find largest file. Okay, it's a largest file, and the self dot largest file dot info dot star will be a largest file. Largest file will be a info dot name dot clone, info dot path, not info dot name dot clone and file size. Okay, here will be also name dot clone and file size. Here is smallest file and name, and it is to end, and here will be a star. Okay, here also a name dot clone. Okay, how it work? It will say the largest file from cell and check is file info is largest file info or not. If there is a 10 largest file, then we will set it the largest file, clone name and set in largest file. If there is a no larger file, we will set it in lower file. Okay. Let's create now. Just on one tool. Here will be a if info dot is symbolic, then type dot symbolic plus 1 equal to 1. Now this function is completed fully. I think so, not. Wait a minute. Else if okay, symbolic will be outside here. And now this function is completed. Let's work with other pub fn finalize will be a if type dot total files is greater than 0, then we can directly set the average file equal to total size with total file as a U64. Okay, it means each find total file and total size will give an average file size of per folder and per every folders and everything. Okay. Default wait a minute, here will be a structure derived debug and default. Okay, now your default error is gone. Now this file have no error, just display is giving this error. Just ignore this error because this error is nothing. When we run project, it will run fine. If there is any error, I will show you how it can solve. Okay. Now let's create a pub fn display self dot string. I am just copy pasting the code here. Wait a minute. Okay, this is our code. I am to copy paste here. I will show you. First of all, we are mutable output string and the output the push format the icon of the bar icon and string statistic. How the statistic will show you every element of statistics and output push format directory. We giving a space because it's come inside of here, and directory will be a slash n. After it will be a in the next line. Self dot total directory. We will pass here total directory and output dot format will files. Here will be a total files and total size means the total size of files. How much total file? If total file is greater than, then we will show you total average file. Okay, average file size. How much average file size is? If there is a large file, then we can show you large file with the decimal and formatted name. If there is a small file, smallest file, then we can show you the smallest file, formatted name and the decimal. It's symbolic. There is a, we can show you symbolic link. Here is the symbolic links and a file type. There is file type. We can show you for how much file type there is, a file type and files and everything in the file type. And in the file type, we can show you extended and it count and everything in proper manner. The user can see it beautifully. Okay. Now this is our completed. Settings file is now completed. There is a one more file we want to write for storing everything in a tree format. Then we can move to our main file. In main file we write everything and we can run our project. Okay. Okay, you can see after saving this file, the display it again giving me error of this everything because of the considering cloning the value performing the clone acceptable. Okay, I'm not sorting error writing so this will be a passage, but if you say here, if you got it this in your line of first, if you comment it and say the error will gone, the error is come only for that line. You can see now there is a no error, file is clean. You can see because of this line it giving us error. Just remove this line if you are important or not. I just close trim style and stylish, just remove this error and here your error will be removed from display. Now our static is completed. Let's move to next file. Now our static file is completed. The code is fully completed. How can stay display static and everything. Now let's create here a new file with name of name in SRC, new file with name of 3.trs. It will create a 3.rs file and add it in our display. So in our lib file pub mode 3, and here after the display pub use paste status. Okay, now we will write some code that show how we can use our free file. Create create some file like config file info out format result sort by free display. We want only this for now, and use ignore with work builder and use start JSON with JSON for JSON output htt collection as map. Use htt fs for write file, because if user want to output a file somewhere, htt part will be a part and part verb. Okay. Use occur will be a directory entry and workspace entry. Okay, now it's giving a warning that we are not using it. Here will be a create git info with CFC future git. It tells you future git and we can use info like this. Over here one more thing we need to 3 letters. Okay, in here pub struct pre-visualize. Here will be a visualize how we can see it or not visualizer. First of all, we need a config, not a file, and this all just our config and display with display tree and git info with option git info, and this is CFS. So CFC for future equal to git, and here will be a test. This will be a retest. Okay. Now here create a one more struct for only for this file will be a 3 node, and it will derive only debug for a debugging info with file info and child with a 3 node. Or mean is a folder have its over child and everything like that. Now let implement visualizer and implement for 3 visualizer. This pub fn new config self let get info if config dot get ignore have or config dot get status. Okay, then sum will be git info will be a new path will be a new dot and else if not none, and here will be a checking of CFC future equal to git. Okay, now let's check here. CFC future is a future equal to git. Then we want to call here something that display equal to if let some ref now some ref equal to git info and equal to git info. They will return a git info, and we'll check here the display new config dot clone. Here will be a clone of config and dot write git info will be a git info dot clone. Git info dot clone. If there is nothing will be so, else it should display a pre-display or clone the config. Okay, and now here be a semicolon and right here let display equal to 3 display new config dot clone. Here will be CFS not future is equal to git. Okay, and here semicolon and also and here with semicolon, and now self will be a config display, this will okay. Now git status will not default, it will a new. Okay, new. And display will be what error of display? Display. A field by name exit inside. Cannot find value display. What the hell? Display. Oh, there is a mistake of spelling display. Now everything is perfect. Let's go for next function. Pop F10. Visualize. Wait a minute. Okay, let's continue with it. Visualize. Visualize and mute self root part will be end of part here will be a return, there will be nothing, and if root part is exists, if does not exist root part, then return error will be formatted like this. Part like this does not exist for display a part. Okay, like here in 2. Okay, now here you can match self dot config dot out format output string and self dot visualize underscore 3 the root part, and JSON will be like this, output CSV will be like this, and output Markdown also like this, and output XML it look like this. Okay, now there is a no folder and no file, you can create it. First of all, create fn visualize dot to dot file and mute self root part and output part for outputting a file. User wants to output a file of the data. Okay. And so end part, it will be a return family nothing, and here it will be same like first one. If root part does not exist, you can give this like this and just remain like this. Later output equal to self dot generate output dot root file and write output. We already have write import and write output file and this and print here that is output return to land output dot path dot display. Okay, now this will giving the output file in the part of where if I want to save, and if I will save there. Okay, now you need to write fn generate output and mute self good path result string. Now let mute output filters formatting string new active, and now here we match of self dot configuration and output format. Which type of our format? It will be output format is 3, and you want like the output. Okay, or output dot parse str will be self dot display dot format path. There will be a root path. We directly display that, and output dot push, and here will be a direct. You can like /n is let entry is equal to self dot collection collect dot entry. I don't want this. What is not entry? Okay, we will create a collection entry later. Let tree equal to self dot build tree entry. We will also create it later. If filter rate tree equal to if self dot config dot filter sum self dot filter empty empty directory, or will be a tree, or self dot append that tree dot nodes and mute output and filter tree will be a string and true. Okay, so I will explain you this later, because we are creating with some different type, or this some function is not created here like collection training, and we can writing is more, and there is so many functions is not created here, but we create it later. Don't worry. every function have a different role. It work and the output will look fine and so many things. If I am like writing like this and CFS, sorry, we don't want a CFS here. We want here if cell dot config dot show letters, and we will show here directly letter cell dot letters dot analyze output dot push dot not push, just push strings, and self dot letters dot display. Just put in the last function capital play. Okay. Now it's completed. Now the output format will be here for JSON. Here output strings go to self dot generate JSON output will be here, and output for Markdown will be here for Markdown, and output for CSV will be a CSV, and for the format for XML for XML. Okay. After it, from this bracket, okay, output which is written, and you can see it giving error of the function is not created yet. Let's create every function step by step, or just it will take so much time for creating the function. I am just copy pasting here. Let me to copy paste a full function. I will explain you everything step by step. Don't worry. What the error here? Let me first create the error. The build function is not there. It's perfectly written here. Is something error, like let me check what the error. Okay, here will be a comma, question mark. So take a two arguments, but here passing only one entry and entry and root path. We want here entry and root path plus closure and JSON output SCE again. And there is any other error? Okay, there's an output already there, but it's giving an error here. Put is notable different version correctly. So I'm writing something wrong here. Root part, right? And moving on. This will return a JSON string spec. Itself. Person itself. No matter when JSON output found reflect in table 3. Okay, there is some spelling mistake like me. Check JSON output. Okay, there is a capital letter and small letter. That's what I got. And now let's check one more error is there. Where is the error? Is replace input pattern not to be found. Let config in config. There is input patterns, and we are getting here input pattern. Okay, let me check the input pattern. Patterns very. Okay, let's change in config. Will include pattern, not a pattern. Error is solved now. The three function is now complete. Let me explain you everything, how to work it. First of all, we are created this if there is output format. User want entry, JSON, XML in any format. Will be written that file and that format. In visual to file, first of all we check if the party does not exist, otherwise generate a file and output a file. It means if you just give an output pass, you want to save the data in a file, we will directly write here everything and save data in the same file. Okay. Now here generate output, it means that generating output after lecture C. You can see. First of all, we are showing the user the root path. Okay. The path of root where you see now. Then session means go to next and collect all data from our collector entry. We go there from build and everything. Filter site and append in the sync filterize site output and everything. Okay, everything works fine from here, and it will going to generate data. Just send the data here and visualize tree. Okay, main of the function is get a root and collect the tree and build tree. The same everything. But here print tree node. Okay. Here filter a tree. Here with output filter a tree. It means it's for the output file. Okay. Here just fetching a filter a tree. You can see it's not output fixer and this. But we are passing a filter a tree and tree. If there is a rest remove because we don't want so table in our Git future. We want in the global future. Enter and finalize and display. I think both are same. Yeah, both are the same. But there is a difference. It will pushing in output and this will printing like this. And if JSON will be a red JSON, visualization. We generate output means it will output a file. Visualize file or it's visualize. That's why we need to create two different functions. Okay, it's visualize 2. It will written in file. That's why like this. Or visualize 3 is meant like this. Okay, and visualize generate JSON, CLI, Markdown, and then give everything and the print here because we want to show the user here now. And the collection entry. how much entry are collection and then so the visualize entry and the file count is keep ignored. First of all, we checking the keep ignore or not. Okay, it ignored them. What will be create new root maximum the editor will keep or not. The hidden file, how much hidden file is there, following link, very good from the following link or not. Everything will work and the worker. If say is worker in result entry path will contain root part and will continue to skip the root part and include the part will continue. Okay, and the limit, if there is a limit file count limit is completed, then break. If file info, then file info dot path get file info here. So checksum is enabled, then calculate the chunks from file and get. If data's, then we will give a data's at entry dot put, so file pull, and if we run in a loop. Okay, else if there is a no git ignore, then we run same in but for my mistake for writing, and so entry will be entered. It not for git ignore file, it for git ignore file, not for git ignore file. That's why it makes step equal to 1. It will go any one of the git. Okay. Now here so include entry. If there is a include entry, should we include entry or not will be a empty file. Should include entry file, it means there is a file name or folder name will be a so hidden and file will be included or not. Okay, false. If git ignore file will be ignored or not is execute pattern when the file is in a pattern like this, part and pattern what are matched, and don't include the file. If execute to include the file match, and it means the included file. The metadata take if directory or not we check. If directory, then we move again. Directory only it has and false the full file. Only files then false for directory. And the metadata is before the metadata, and match the filter is size. If there is a size, any filter is small, large, it will filter everything. And exit or not the complete file extension. File extension will be a everything. You can see how extension contain file to lower. If it an array, okay, only file not directory. The directory specific for only file is not the directory but it's sort entries. It means everything is sorted by name. How sorted by name, how time, if time order will generate CMS required, extension, how extension work, if type, how it type work, orderless and generating. The reverse sort means if ordering word sorting, it will reverse. Okay. It will tree. Now this is the most important because it will tree type data. First of all, create a node. Okay. And entries by pattern parents. You take a parent and go inside the child. Entries parent inside it vector or not the push, and directory root child directory children self build child the clone entry by parents not the push. Okay. And will not self is file info entry by parents as map, and this the will not will be like the child intro, and if not directory the child is entry by the parents, and we will take entry have child and then child info and save everything in child not info and child not the filter empty directly. If directly is empty or not will be checked. If everything here the print tree how print will be print tree. Here will be this arrow means it will print like tree, or this means if go or down or not it will go down or not. If effect save here and print here directly. If there is a child not empty then prefix print child also. Append tree not it will append the tree not everything like same, and generate JSON output. How we can generate our JSON output like this in root path. JSON first of all we show a root path, then a JSON of tree and the text. We also show a text in JSON the file count. If we just give or not show file count in the same for the root, and then file and IT and everything will be in root. Okay. In the CSV, the name path directory modify permission shift this all type in CSV, and in the markdown we show name site modify everything. In general XML we show like this XML5 everything 3 to JSON. We have some files how we can convert into JSON. If child have child run again then this is name file info pass site directly executable or symbolic thing. It will count all file data and count the directory data. Everything will be here. How it works, you know how. This is so big file. This is how much like that. This have 500 and something was biggest file for this project. Okay. Let now we can update our the main file. Because before we update our main file, I want to see you something here. In tree we write everything, but in lib just downside instead up we use tree and tree visual. Okay. Now the everything is perfectly. The file, the main file only the remain forward, and that is for our part of a CLI tool series. In the next episode, we'll keep pushing forward, adding more features and making tools even more powerful and developer friendly. Don't forget to like, subscribe and hit the bell icon so you notified as soon as the next video drop. Got feedback or questions? Drop in the comment. Come hang out to our Discord server. We love to hear from you and see your code. Big thanks again to buy me a coffee for inspiration and support. Until the next time, stay curious and happy coding.